Hey guys, hi everyone. Today's video is going to be a little bit sad, but with a touch of hope, right? Because after yesterday's market crash, I think everyone noticed it, or at least heard something about it, or maybe even got caught up in all that mess caused by one red-headed swan. I also got hit a bit by it, and honestly, I think it was totally unfair. I mean, it wasn't a mistake by my bots or my strategy, it was basically the exchange's fault. Or, you could say, a failure in how the signals were executed on the exchange. But it was my money that disappeared. Yesterday, I just got wiped out for $1,000 on my Algo trading account. And in this video, I'll tell you how it all happened, how something like this could even occur, especially considering that all my bots that trade with real money use stop losses, so this kind of thing just shouldn't be possible. And most importantly, I'll show you how to avoid these kinds of mistakes. Actually, I have an entire channel about algorithmic trading on Telegram. This YouTube channel is also mainly dedicated to algorithmic trading. And on these platforms, I share and demonstrate my own experience. Right from the very beginning, from creating robots, I provide tons of code that helps, or prompts that assist with bytecoding. That's a cool new term, which lets you achieve results even if you don't know programming, and create profitable trading strategies, even if you don't know trading robots, and, accordingly, even if you don't know how to program. And based on my own experience and with my own money, risking my own funds, I show what kinds of mistakes can happen in algorithmic trading, and I explain how you can avoid them, so you don't end up with the kind of results I got just last night. So subscribe to this channel, join my Telegram channel, and in the meantime, I'll tell you what actually happened, what went down last night, how everyone got wiped out, how I personally got wiped out, and how you can avoid it. Let's go. Let's start by figuring out what happened yesterday. Yesterday, there was some serious manipulation in the markets in general, and especially in the cryptocurrency market. As for why it was done, who most likely pulled it off, and what's going to happen next after this manipulation, I'll probably talk about that in the next video, because this video isn't about that. But the most important thing is how. How did everyone get liquidated? Did anyone have long positions? Because at the start, in the morning, there was no sign that anything bad was about to happen. Some altcoins started to take off, something was spiking somewhere, prices were going up in some places. Overall, the market looked positive. There were a few nuances, like the rising dominance of USDT, just little things like that. But overall, everyone was expecting maybe a drop down, some stop-loss hunting, the usual manipulations, and then a rally. But in the end, the market just got completely wrecked. Altcoins crashed by 70–80% just straight to the bottom. Very few people expected something like this. They wiped out everyone, absolutely everyone. In fact, some people even lost their spot assets, basically. Do you know how they did it? I'll tell you now. A lot of professional traders hold assets on spot. They deposit them on the exchange, on spot, and use them as collateral to get a sort of revolving credit. That is, money to trade futures. So basically, those coins don't go anywhere. They just sit there, accumulating, waiting for their moment, waiting for the bull run. And the money, well, they give you about 85% of the value of those coins to trade with. Basically, the exchange lends you money against your collateral. It's like a mortgage in the crypto world. Now imagine, for example, they have open long positions, or a lot of people set them up just in case of a dump, in case of stop-outs and liquidations. Usually, there are limit orders set at the bottom to buy during those liquidations, to buy out and then quickly sell. That's one way people operate. These strategies are called liquidity hunting or stop hunting. And many professional traders use these kinds of strategies. So, imagine you catch that liquidity, go long, and then the price drags you down. At the same time, your assets are losing value. Let's say you had $100 worth of assets, and they lost 70% of their value. So now you only have $30 worth of assets left. And even a small loss on these positions, just a small one, look, you have an asset worth $100. Let's say, for example, even if you don't use leverage, you just open a position for $100. The position dropped by 30%. So you're down $30, and your assets have also lost, say, 30% of their value. And now we're almost at a margin call. And then it just starts, these two lines, they start to converge, right? So, say, it drops by 40%, and as a result, these collateral assets just get dumped on the market, pushing prices even lower. Someone else gets a margin call too, their assets are also sold off, also thrown onto the market. And we just see a spike 80% down. Everything gets wiped out. Everyone who had collateral assets, anyone who had long positions, who bought something, God forbid, with leverage, or even without leverage. Even with just 1x leverage, or no leverage at all, even if someone had a position with 50% of their deposit, everyone got wiped out. Damn! A really strong move, a really strong manipulation, and unfortunately, I got hit by it too, even though I shouldn't have. Because I'm all about algorithmic trading, I trade with stop losses, so I honestly don't care whether the market goes up or down, or sideways I don't really like. Well, at least up or down. Just decide where we're headed, and we'll make money. A trader doesn't care. That's exactly why, in my opinion, trading is better than any kind of investing in the current market situation. Because basically, a trader doesn't care. If we go up, fine, we make money going up. If we go down, we make money going down. And if you have solid strategies, if you have stop losses, you're protected. But that's not the case. Look, I'll show you what happened. On my exchange, on my public account, I have several of my live trading bots running, as well as a few experimental strategies. The strategy on GTO is actually a stop hunting strategy. In other words, it hunts for stop losses, just like market makers do. And it's actually pretty good, works very steadily, still in testing, but it's already showing some really solid results. This is over 2 years. Just so you understand, this is the strategy's backtest. So overall, it's a really solid strategy. Now, let's see what happens using this strategy as an example. Around 7 in the evening, look, I have a signal log here. So, at 7 in the evening, right here, you can see, it enters at 7 in the morning, no, in the evening, yes, at 7 in the evening it enters 3 long positions. So, after liquidity gets swept, it enters 3 longs and aims to make a few cents on each. And the strategy has a pretty high win rate. How much is it? 63%. So, basically, it actually makes money pretty often, but this time, things didn't go that way. There was a 4% correction down, and literally at 10 in the evening, the signals were sell, 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 all 3 sells at 22, 29, and 55. That's it. We exit the position. Our position is 0. We closed all 3 longs with 3 shorts. And that's all I was supposed to lose. So, you see, literally, from $1,000, 4% is about $40, plus slippage, a little to the left or right, commissions, so I should have lost about $40 to $45. And of course, that's unpleasant, a stop loss, but stop losses are something a trader gets used to. So, as you saw, a 63% win rate means that out of 10 trades, 4 are stop losses. So, basically, I don't see anything particularly scary about a stop loss at all. Especially since, at that moment, my robot using another strategy, the R1 trading bot, was shorting Bitcoin and actually made $50. I'll show you now. Here it is, my R1 trading bot. It enters at exactly 7 in the evening, just when GTO went long. It goes short and calmly hits 1, 2, 3, all 4 profit targets. So we took all 4 profits. Plus, there were some squeezes too, so in total it was around $40, $45. So basically, I didn't really make anything, didn't lose anything either, give or take $5. And honestly, who cares? I mean, considering the market situation, whatever, it's fine. But at the same time, I got wiped out for $1,000. Hell. Let me show you. Look, this is my signal trading on the BingX exchange, which is supposed to follow the strategy. Here I have LZJTO1H. Here it is, the log. As you can see, at 7 o'clock p.m. it's buy, buy, buy. At 10 p.m. sell, sell, sell. The last sell, position size is 0. That's it. So I should have been left with no position, and that's it. And that's all. So, what exactly is happening on the exchange at this time? At 7 p.m. long, long, short. Close the long. So, basically, it opens for $2,000 for $300, and then closes for $1,500. What? How? Why? How did it go from long to short? And at 10:29 p.m., for some reason, it closes for $800 and then opens again for $1,000. What? How? Why? How did he turn 3 buys and 3 sells into this mess? That's a really big question. And then, you see, it just closes for a loss, like $900 out of $1,000. Well, overall, $1,000 isn't the end of the world for me, of course. But those $1,600 I had in this account, I actually built them up with robots from $250 over 6 months. So honestly, I'm not too upset about losing $1,000. But it's just that all my work over 6 months is gone because of some mistake I still can't figure out. Well, actually, I do have a theory, and right now I'm working closely with BingX support on this, because, of course, I wasn't about to just let this slide, so I immediately contacted support. I said, guys, have you lost your minds over there or what? And I do have an idea of what's going on and why this whole mess happened in the first place. And most importantly, how to avoid this kind of thing altogether, no matter what. I'm going to show you all of this right now. But just imagine how surprised I was. I wasn't supposed to have any open positions. I know that all my bots are insured, all of them have stop losses set, and then people start messaging in my channel's chat writing that there's some kind of nonsense going on with my copy trading. I opened it up and, I was just shocked, surprised, and completely baffled. Although I was saying completely different words in the chat, because this is just like, what the heck? Anyway, from here on I'd have to bleep myself out, so I'll just keep quiet. I hope that BingX exchange and I will be able to sort this out, and I'll show you some technical methods. What you need to do in your bots so you don't end up in this situation at all. But for now, let me show you a method that will definitely save you. Even if this kind of mess happens, even if this whole crappy situation occurs and you have some open buys, meaning your stops, take profits, and trade entries somehow got mixed up and everything's just a total mess, how can you at least protect yourself from the kind of harsh consequences that I faced? The method is extremely simple. When you start signal trading and begin creating your strategy instructions, well, that's basically how bots are launched. Right here, you check the SL, stop loss, box, and for example, if my strategy calls for a 4% stop loss, you set it to 5% and launch the signal with this 5% stop loss. What does this do for us? Usually, the strategy will work as expected. That is, your stop loss will trigger at 4%, signals will be sent to the exchange, it will process everything, reverse positions if needed, and basically do whatever is required. But if something goes wrong, like what happened yesterday, this trade, the one for $1,000 that shouldn't have happened at all, would have just hit another stop loss. So I would have taken another unfair 50% loss, which I would have also argued about with the BingX exchange. But at least I would have been arguing over $50, not $900. In short, guys, learn from my mistakes. Be smarter than me. I show everything honestly, all my mistakes, everything that happens, both good and bad, I talk about it and share it in my Telegram channel. I teach how to make bots in the Telegram channel. I teach how to fix mistakes in bots. I show different procedures and pieces of code that can save you from such errors. And I will keep showing this in the future. If you're interested in this, subscribe to my channel and stay tuned for the next videos. See you all.